Are you kidding? Okay, calm down, bro. This is okay. Yo. Calm down, dude. Hey, yo. What? Hold up. It's okay when I joke, okay? It's not. Yo, I'm about to actually get a phone call from the feds, dude. Stop making jokes like this. It's not illegal to befriend and have hot polycule sex with the mayor of New York. Okay? It's not illegal. And if it's a crime, then arrest me, officer. Arrest me. Put me in jail. Put me behind bars. Lolo, you son of a... Specifically, Adams, in a private meeting in Manhattan, met with the aforementioned Twitch streamer at a luxury hotel in Midtown. During this meeting, Adams knowingly and willfully accepted a large bribe in the form of a pallet of Zyn nicotine pouches, an in-kind gift with an estimated value exceeding $50,000, delivered in exchange for Adams' commitment to grant preferential treatment in future city licensing regulations affecting the gaming industry. The bribe took the form of an unusually large shipment of Zyn nicotine pouches. Like, it could be anyone. It's not. Why would anybody even why would anybody put two and two together here? It could be anybody. Okay. On or about the morning of August 15, 2014, a pallet containing approximately 50,000 units of Zyn, a popular smokeless nicotine product, was delivered to a secured warehouse in Brooklyn, New York. The delivery was directly connected to the legal agreement brokered between Adams and the Twitch streamer. There is not. It could be literally anyone with that. Anyone and everyone could be responsible for this. Okay, this is. Calm down. Dude, from gold bars, the Zyn shipments, I love it. Stop trying to distract us with your arms. Not gonna work. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to distract you from anything. This could be anybody. Okay, can you guys calm down? That this indictment could be mentioning anyone. Okay, it could be mentioning anyone, like literally anyone at all. Okay, I know it sounds weird when you look at that. Page 38, in touting the benefits, he provided the Turkish official message to the Adams staffer: don't let the airline manager and others confuse Adams. We are the state. We are all trying to find out who did this Zyn thing. Okay, it's just silliness. Anyway, we're gonna get to the Eric Adams stuff in a moment. That's a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. That was literally one of my locks for the year, was that Eric Adams would get indicted, and it's pretty funny. It is pretty funny to consider that, like, even before this year, I told you guys, like, Eric Adams, so much meme potential, like one of the greatest memes. Like, I was long on Eric Adams. Okay, very, very bullish. Love the stock, love the meme stock from the jump. Been a big proponent of it, and it's paying off so spectacularly. I would say it's paying off more spectacularly than even I assumed it would. And we have barely scratched the surface. Okay, so that is what's so funny about it, because he's so insane overall and so shameless in his pure graft. It's great. New York City mayors, the mayoral seat is just like cursed to begin with. Like, I can't remember any good mayors really from this goddamn city. And Eric Adams somehow was able to push the needle even further. I mean, the last guy, like, it's got to be weird when Bill de Blasio is considered to be like better than the last sequence of mayors. Like, Bill goddamn de Blasio. You have straight up Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor post 9/11. Like, think about like all the, okay? You have Michael Bloomberg, you have Bill de Blasio, and now you have Eric Adams. It is so bad. It is so bad. Like, every single one of these they're all such dog monsters for the most part. Oh, anyway. And now Andrew Cuomo wants to get back in the mantle, which is so crazy. Cancel culture, am I right? It's actually insane that he's the first sitting New York City mayor to be indicted. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, it's insane that Eric Adams is the first sitting New York City mayor to be indicted on criminal charges. That's like being the first sitting mayor of Mouse City to eat cheese. Yeah, New York City mayors have always they've always been grifters. A lot of graft there, but like never to the degree of Eric Adams. Like the transparent nature in which like Eric Adams operated was like, it was like mafia style. And I think it was partially because of his police background, which I'm going to get to in a second. OB is the Order of the British Empire. Oh, Robert E. Lee's birth name was Raghav Eylolu. So we're going to talk about Eric Adams on this Turkish telenovela, okay? But before we do that, let's start. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, the mayor of the greatest city on the planet, responsible basically for a standing military that I believe is like the seventh largest army on the planet, like the NYPD, with its own submarines. Mayor Adams is in trouble. He's been in trouble for quite a while. He has had a litany of scandals throughout his entire 3-year tenure so far. And one of those scandals is now finally coming to fruition. See, Eric Adams did what was that? Loving Turkey too much. And I do not mean the deli meat. I mean the country, Turkey, okay?
City Mayor Eric Adams is facing federal charges after being indicted by a grand jury. Those charges have just been unsealed. They include accepting improper campaign contributions for nearly a decade. I want to bring in senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky, who's there at City Hall. Aaron, what's the latest on these charges?
Well, they are, as you outlined, Diane, they include a commitment soliciting improper foreign campaign donations. And importantly, these involve not only his time as mayor and while he was running for mayor, but the charges predate even that and stretch back nearly a decade to conduct that's alleged while he was the borough president in Brooklyn. And it had long been rumored that there was alleged corruption at the time Adams was the Brooklyn borough president, but he has never been charged until now. The indictment contains images of hotel suites and other benefits that the mayor allegedly took as he was soliciting some of these donations. And the charges all.
If it's wrong to love the nation of Turkey, then put me in jail. I don't want to be right, okay? Then I'm wrong. And guess what? Eric Adams is also in the right in the story. Free my mans! This is the long of the law, okay? I'm sorry that baklava all of a sudden is a big problem, okay? He just simply said döner is a Turkish invention and so is baklava, and they came down hard. Because guess what, chat? Everybody knows that the FBI has been overtaken by both the Greeks and the Armenians simultaneously, and they came after him because he loved Turkey too much.
Also say that he accepted donations from Turkey in exchange for taking an official step, and that is trying to get the fire department to speed up its inspection of the new Turkish consulate across from the United Nations on the east side of Manhattan.
Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. He wanted to be efficient. Dude. Perhaps. Oh, yeah, he got, which was pretty funny. Like, of course he did. Because of course he did, okay? We're going to talk about the serious stuff in a second. Hold on.
That had long been understood to be part of the investigation, but these charges make clear the conduct, as alleged, is much broader than that, Diane.
And Mayor Adams has denied all wrongdoing. How is he responding now that this indictment's unsealed?
We haven't heard from the mayor since the indictment was unsealed mere minutes ago, but we do expect the mayor to make remarks outside Gracie Mansion, where he's been huddled with advisors, attorneys, and aides. The mayor, in remarks before the indictment was unsealed, called these charges entirely false. He insisted he's innocent, and he suggested that this is political because he was critical of the Biden administration over the way it handled the migrant crisis. There's no evidence of that, and the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams is expected to address the charges himself a short time from now.
And I want to bring in ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer, too. Brian, how significant are these charges, for one? And what do you make of what the mayor has said about the allegations in general so far?
You pre-watching this event? Eric Adams' polyamory arc is revealed alongside his case because he was using one of his concubines for Marjorie Taylor Greene normal arc, normal politician arc, or rather the party becomes more like her. Those are two back-to-back boulders, by the way. Straight up. Now, this is why I am better than the likes of people who are bad at their jobs. The Eric Adams charges are unsealed, and once the primary claim that the most pro-Israel big city mayor received luxury international travel from Turkish government official Hillary funded the Steele dossier, Hunter took millions, Adams went on a trip, political witch hunt. This is a key plank of conservative epistemology. When evidence arises that it's inconsistent with the thesis that DOJ is acting in a partisan way, they don't revisit the thesis, they just add new epicycles. Yeah, okay. That's not what I was actually looking for. This is what I was actually looking for. When I was talking about how Eric Adams is going to be, obviously, when I was talking about how Eric Adams was obviously an incredible meme potential many, many years prior, and continued my support for Eric Adams, there were other incredible tacticians, brilliant political minds out there glazing him. Why? Because they're always wrong. And why? Because I'm always right. Here's Nate Silver, also known as Nate Copper. It's probably foolish to think a New York City mayor will successfully translate into being a national political figure, but I still think Eric Adams would be in my top 5 for who will be the next Democratic presidential nominee after Joe Biden. He's going to be good at getting media attention and has a chance of carving out a niche that's different from what other Democrats are offering. That's a potentially powerful combination given how primaries are conducted nowadays. Also, the competition isn't great. I need you to understand, these people have terrible political instincts, okay? Have you boosted this urgent jail support mutual aid for BIPOC mask? Yo! Anyway, when I was in the cut telling you that Eric Adams undoubtedly will, 1, get indicted, and 2, be a spectacular failure across the board, okay? There was the likes of Brett Stevens, who gets paid the big bucks to say Eric Adams is going to save New York. Look, I don't need to diss you off, but I'm particularly annoyed by all the savvy liberals who insist that Adams was a true moderate police reformer. All he did was shovel money to the NYPD, let them run as a gang, do the bidding of real estate, and go clubbing as predicted. Exactly. Adam Johnson is correct. That is all Eric Adams did. And it's fun to have this moment of celebration. And I think it's an important moment of celebration because it shows once again how bad the political instincts are of the liberal intelligentsia and how utterly stupid they are and how much they just basically repeat and operate as a way of like normalizing dog politicians simply because they have arrived at a position of power and they are on the left flank ostensibly with right-wing ideals. Okay? That's it. That's simply all it takes for so many liberal intelligentsia to just simply say, it's great. This guy is great. Why is he great? Because he's like a conservative guy, but running on a Democratic ticket. He's got a D next to his name, and he's conservative. That's all it takes for mainstream media to immediately hype you up. Okay? No analysis, no serious look into the affairs, no serious interrogation of like what this person's point of view is and whether or not this is like popular, or even if it is popular, is this going to be good? Is his agenda going to be good for the population in general? Not even a little bit, okay? Not even a little bit. If you want a fun time seeing how unfathomably dumb all the most serious politicians and journalists are in America, just Google Eric Adams date range 2021 to 2022, a treasure trove of how the discourse is controlled by colossal clowns. National Dems are calling in a new communications expert, Eric Adams. Joe Biden embraces New York's mayor as wave threatens Democrats. Again, wrong. The panic in New York State almost cost them the elections in New York. You had Lee Zeldin gaining momentum as a direct consequence of Kathy Hochul adopting the right-wing framing on. Meanwhile, it was literally themselves also conducting these affairs and this communication. What? Oh, God, this is irrelevant right now, Cinemarxism. Anyway, please stop with like, oh, God. God, take an hour off, chatter. Jesus Christ, you keep posting the same like old meme over and over again. Anyway, the press and politicians were so desperate to delegitimize the George Floyd protests, and along came a tough black cop. It was like catnip or opium. Joe Biden embraces New York mayor's wave. New York's mayor as wave threatens Democrats. New York mayor offers national Dems a hand in 2024. I want to make sure the party retains the White House, Eric Adams said in a sit-down with Politico. Nate Silver also said he's going to be a glorious national politician. Okay. New York Post said, vote to save New York. Pick Eric Adams today for the future of our city. Brett Stevens, Eric Adams is going to save New York.
Vision.
Here is our favorite goat, Olivia Nuzzi. Trying to get a prominent slot in the polycule. Also, another incredible hack, Olivia Nuzzi. I think she can write a decent article. I will admit that. But ultimately, like, once again, her ideological rudder is so firmly planted in the contrarian right, and also busted her. I mean, she's just, I did it all for the Nuzzy. Yeah.
I spent the day with Adams to learn more about how he thinks about these challenges and his vision for the remainder of his first term.
This administration is going to be a retrospective appreciation administration. We already got that. We understand.
Is that how you're abiding the kind of?
I need you to understand. Okay, this is pure grift. Okay, it's all access journalism. These people are simply regurgitating whatever is the best possible way forward for the Democratic Party to behave in a right-wing manner. Okay, we have over the past couple of decades especially pushed further and further right, and the media has engaged in the circle jerk where there's no critical thinking, there's no adversarial journalism whatsoever. Every single thing that they do is basically an ad. Okay, and that is precisely the reason why so many of you at this point turn around and immediately adopt this right-wing framing and go, it's not for me, Hasan, but maybe it's for someone else out there who is more moderate. Maybe it's for someone else out there who wants more conservative positions to be repeated by Democrats. Okay? Understand that it is not an accident that you arrived at this conclusion that seemingly is not for you, but for the betterment of society. If a Democrat is the one doing these like right-wing legislative, the Democrat is like fulfilling the right-wing legislative agenda. Okay.
Negative interpretation of some of what you're doing right now, because your approval ratings, they kind of suck right now.
But it's supposed to. It's supposed to,
you were
because
at,
I'm doing
60% in the first year.
I'm doing
now
hard stuff.
You're down to 28%, which is not just a historic low for you, but for any mayor in the history of that survey.
Right.
So,
but what mayor has dealt with COVID, and 177,000 people dropped into this city without any federal support. Mm-hmm. These are hard decisions, and so
he's talking about immigrants here. By the way. Pickled Llama, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Like, he was straight up a prominent figure. He was straight up. Oh, the Eric Adams Poly thing is actually like a secret. It's not. No one has ever actually investigated it. It's like a New York journalist thing. It's like an open secret.
I would rather people say, we're going to take it out on you, Eric. So
funny for a New York mayor to be like, man, what the f are we going to do with all these migrants? You're the mayor of New York City. What the f are you saying? Like, this is the one area, like, around the globe where you simply cannot say that, okay? It is a metropolitan city entirely built on unrestricted migration. Like, I'm not even like Ellis Island is right there, obviously. But like New York City also has maintained its incredible diversity. What the f are we talking about? Like, it is one of the most diverse places on the planet, dog. What do you mean these migrants?
I can navigate us through this. Yeah. It's my responsibility. I'm the mayor of the city. And I don't sit back and say, oh my God, my poll numbers are down. No, people are going to look back over this and say, this guy managed us through the crises, because the legacy is not what people think of you while you're there, it's what people look back. When you compare what I have done to any other man in the history of this city, people are going to see what I've done. New Yorkers are angry. And so when you're angry, who you take it out on? The mayor.
Yeah. He's like, I don't It's not that New Yorkers are mad at me because I suck ass and I just basically stole public funds and gave like additional tens of millions of dollars to my buddies in the NYPD, which I was a part of, remember? But actually it's because they just don't understand. You know, my mind works in fascinating ways. And these fools do not have the intellectual prowess to comprehend the machinations. Yeah. No, people were not upset that I closed libraries so I could put the Candy Crush Brigade in every metro station, in every subway station. It was actually because they just simply don't understand that these moves were for the betterment of society.
So far. Now, it looks like we don't have Brian. We'll try to get him back.
Bro's playing one-dimensional chess. Bro's not even plugging the circle with a square, okay? He's not playing no games.
But Aaron, let's go back to some of the backstory here, because this comes after a string of searches and even resignations of top city officials. Are you seeing anything in the indictment that indicates more charges could come down?
Well, I'm still going through it. It's 57 pages, but Mayor Adams is the only defendant named in this indictment. So for all of the searches and seizures involving other top city officials of late, the federal prosecutors have chosen to indict only Mayor Adams.
Yeah, increased overtime for subway duty from $4 million to $155 million. And what did you have to show for that in revenue recovery? I believe it was $100,000 in revenue recovery from fare evasion. $100,000. Now explain to me if this is how you actively do good governing, okay? Also, these freaks recently shot a bunch of people, including themselves. Remember, or maybe he just wanted to give his buddies more money. Eric Adams stole $10 million of public funds, so according to NYPD's math, that means he deserves to be shot 3,448,275.862 times. Yeah. That's 3 million, almost 4 million times the fare evasion that he did with the $10 million of public funds that he stole. Why can't a politician in an amazing job just be happy like a great public servant making a few $100,000 a year and live in a dope house for free? Why do they immediately need to try to become corrupt multi-bajillionaires? Because you don't get to that. Dude, it's the mayor of New York. The position itself is literally is designed so that you are hyper militant against like any poor person. Your job is to basically maintain. You're completely captured by real estate developers. You're completely captured by corporate landlords, and your job is to basically punish any non-white person or any poor person as aggressively as you possibly can and purge Manhattan from the unwashed masses. That is the only type of person. You're a Wall Street puppet. That is the only type of person who can ever get to that position of power in New York. He sounds like a normal New York mayor. That's the beautiful part about this. He is, and this is a very Trumpian phenomenon, he is a very normal New York mayor. It's just that he didn't do the proper paperwork, number one, and he also went above and beyond in his corruption. And he did it in a very way. That's what's funny about this entire process. I also do personally believe that this is a byproduct of capitalism withering away like the institutions and even like creating people that are not even interested in hiding their graft, right? Hiding the obvious theft of public resources. Like they're just becoming more obvious with the ways in which they steal. That's all it is. And it's Trumpian. Trump did it very out in the open too. And what are the consequences for it? Basically nothing. As long as you are buttering the bread of those wealthy people in positions of power, most people usually turn a fucking blind eye to this. As long as you also follow the proper protocols. That's why I always laughed about the Bob Menendez stuff too. Like he is like historically corrupt, and he still got elevated by the Democratic Party. Even before this second indictment and federal investigation into Bob Menendez, He already had that exact same investigation once. Henry Cuellar. We knew that the FBI had raided his compound. And Nancy Pelosi still went out there and defended him alongside Jim Clyburn. Henry Cuellar, the most right-wing Democrat in the caucus. And now he's under federal investigation. Bob Menendez is under federal investigation. Eric Adams is under federal investigation. One must ask the question, are the Democrats this stupid? The answer is yes, they are very stupid, for the record. They are very, very stupid. And the ways in which our politicians like grift this way gets dumber and dumber and more transparent every day because they don't even feel the need to hide. These vulturous monsters are basically eating away the corpse of American empire.
Adams, at least for now. That doesn't mean charges couldn't be superseded. There could be additional defendants. But for now, the mayor is the only one. We should say that even before the indictment was unsealed, federal agents arrived at Gracie Mansion to give the mayor a summons to appear in court. We still don't know when that date will be, but we believe it'll be early next week. He was also searched again at Gracie Mansion, and there was a subpoena for his electronic devices. So now twice in less than a year, Mayor Adams has had his devices seized by federal agents.
One of the funniest aspects of this is that there is like a legal way of doing this. Like the American government, American governance, the American structure has basically serialized and processed, okay, as long as you do the proper paperwork. That's why it's so funny when these guys are like, man, I really want to just like get outside of the realm of lobbying. Like the difference between what Bob Menendez does and what every other politician does is that he doesn't have the proper paperwork from like a fair registered lobbyist. You know what I mean? That's the difference. They didn't fill the proper forms in this circumstance, you know?
Indication that perhaps they think some of the conduct may be ongoing.
Aaron, what do you make of that timing, them issuing that search and seizing his phone, for example, on the same day that they're issued to appear in court?
Well, the mayor's not happy about it. I've heard from a number of his aides who said, including his lawyer, who said, if they had just asked us, we would have given over the phones. The mayor has been cooperative. He has said he would cooperate. But federal agents don't really roll that way. If they're going to arrive at a location expecting to seize evidence, they're going to go in with a search warrant, a subpoena, and not necessarily wait for a defendant to cooperate. So I think it's fairly common practice, even though the mayor is taking it as an aggressive step.
Aaron, put this into context. How significant is this from a history standpoint for this city? The first time we're now seeing a sitting mayor indicted.
There have been 110 men who have served as mayor of New York City. Until now, none of them had been accused of a crime, let alone a federal crime, while in office. So this is an unprecedented case. Mayor Adams is the first sitting mayor to face criminal charges. He is going to fight them, but he has been under investigation for about a third of his tenure. He's 3 years into a 4-year term, and he is facing a number of calls from within his own party for his resignation. So far, the mayor says he is going to continue to lead the city he was elected to lead.
Here's some really funny moments from the indictment, okay? 1, Eric Adams got a voluntary meeting with the FBI, excused himself to go to the bathroom, and deleted messages and communications that they were asking him about in the bathroom break. Adams' staffer also agreed to speak with FBI agents and falsely denied the criminal conduct of herself and Adams, among others. At one point during her voluntary interview, the Adams staffer excused herself to a bathroom and while there, deleted the encrypted messaging application she had used to communicate with Adams, the promoter, the Turkish official, the airline manager, and others. Incredible stuff. More on that front. The indictment claims that Adams' campaign staffer told a potential donor that Adams probably wouldn't want to accept illegal donations, but then checked with Adams and learned that he was actually totally cool with it. On June 22nd, 2018, the same day as the fundraising event just described, the Adams staffer and the promoter discussed by text message a possible trip by Adams to Turkey. The promoter stated in part, "Fundraising in Turkey is not legal, but I think I can raise money for your campaign off the record." The Adams staffer inquired, "How will Adams declare that money here?" The promoter responded, "He won't declare it." Or, will make the donation through an American citizen in the U.S., a Turk. I'll give cash to him in Turkey, or I'll send it to an American. He will make a donation to you. The Adams staffer replied, I think he wouldn't want to get involved in such games. That might cause a big stink later on, but I'll ask anyways. The Adams staffer then asked, how much do you think would come from you? The promoter responded, maximum 100K. The Adams staffer wrote 100K. Do you have a chance to transfer that here? We can't do it while Eric is in Turkey, to which the promoter replied, let's think. After this conversation, Adams staffer asked Eric Adams, whether the Adams staffer should pursue the unlawful foreign contributions offered by the promoter, and contrary to Adams staffer's expectations, Eric Adams directed that the Adams staffer pursue the promoter's illegal scheme. He was like, yeah, no, I would like that very much, please. Can you prove that this wasn't you? Adam staffer says, he's also asking, where else can they go in Turkey? Do you have a recommendation? Airline manager says, 4 Seasons. Adam staffer says, it's too expensive. Airline manager says, why does he care? He is not going to pay. His name will not be on anything either. Adam staffer says, super. Here are some of the benefits that he got that were not disclosed. Okay. India via Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 2 on a round trip from New York to India. $12,000 value, upwards of $12,000, not disclosed. From France, Turkey, and China, free business class tickets for 3 on a round trip from New York to France, Turkey, and China. Heavily discounted stay in Bentley Suite of St. Regis in Istanbul. $41,000, not disclosed. China via Turkey, free business class ticket for 2 on a round trip from New York to China. $16,000. Hungary via Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 2 on a round trip from New York to Hungary, $12,000. Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 1 on flight from New York to Turkey, free stay in the Cosmopolitan Suite of the St. Regis Istanbul, free meals, transportation, and entertainment in Istanbul, upwards of $9,000. Turkey, solicited and accepted but then canceled, free upgrade to business class for 2 on round trip from New York to Turkey, free or steeply discounted luxury hotel and resort stays, transportation, entertainment, and meals, $21,000. Ghana via Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 2 on round trip from New York to Ghana, free meal and transportation during Istanbul layover, $12,000. Not disclosed. People believe the Zin bribe. What? Oh my God, they're so stupid. New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Oh, that's awesome. Let's not say anything about it. Let's just let it ride. Isn't that a tiny amount of money to throw your life away for? Yes. However, he did more. He did a lot worse. But this is like the highly illegal stuff that is above board. You know what I mean? It's just like over the table, incredibly illegal. Another conversation with Adam staffer said, "Make it look real. He is being watched." Turkish Airlines tried to charge Adams $50 for a last-minute flight, and a staffer responded, "Let it be somewhat real." It ended up being $1,100, and he got upgraded to business class for free. I love that they were also aware. That they were being watched, and they still did it anyway, which is very respectful. Just like that there's a 3-minute ad break coming for you at the top of the hour, and you don't take any precautions. Okay, many of you laugh at Eric Adams, but guess what? Eric Adams got a ton of gifted subs at the HasanAbi broadcast in an effort to make sure that he and his family do not have to see those ads at the top of the hour. Another Turkish bribe for Eric Adams, because at the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $4.20 or for free. Jolin Emu and Deckhole now. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, everybody. Bro traveled to Turkey 37 times and is still bald. Huge L. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I just joined. Why is Turkish Airlines giving Eric Adams free stuff illegal? What do you mean? You're a public servant. You can't. Guys, remember when Aiden Ross gave Donald Trump a Rolex and I said, that is an FEC violation. Okay. Obviously, there are legal means in which you can dump an unlimited amount of funds into a campaign by way of super PACs, but you cannot directly give people who are in office or running for office money like that, or gifts that are above a certain value. Okay. For example, AOC sometimes streams on her account on Twitch. Why can you not subscribe to AOC? Why is that shut off? That is because it would be illegal. Okay. because you could technically exceed the FEC limit. Now, of course, if you are Adin Ross, you think I'm responsible for that. But what's in it for Turkey, though? I mean, it's obviously there are some aspects of the pay for play scheme was to speed run the process of like the fire department doing checks on the new Turkish embassy. Some of the things that they demanded was that he deny the Armenian, Turkish soft power at play, baby. Bunun için değer mi gerçekten? Erik Beşiktaşlıymış. Yapmayın. Oh no. Eric Adams dün seçimlerini kazanarak New York Belediye Başkanı oldu. Adams 2015'ten beri Beşiktaş USA Derneği üyesi. No. He was a member of Beşiktaş USA. Başkan Ferruh Zor tarafından Türk dostu olarak nitelendirilen Adams defalarca, Adams by the way means like human. Adamın dibi. Eric Adams. Masadayız. Masa biziz. Masadayız. Masa biziz amına koyayım. Yürüyün Türkler. Adamın dibi Erik. Erik means plum in Turkish and Adam means human. So Erik Adams technically is a Turkish name. Erik with a K. His name loosely translates to plum man. Abi bir erik dalı gönder. To the non-Turks that are in the chat, what I said is we are at the table. We are the table. It's a common Turkish take whenever like Turkey is mentioned in any kind of like geopolitical affair. Turks love to say we are at the table. They get very proud that they are involved in these schemes. Or they will say we are the table, or at least that's my evolution of the we are at the table. I always love saying we are the table. They're saying that the president of the foundation considered him a Turk friend and talked about the many different tourist visits that he made to Turkey. Eric Adams won the election yesterday and became the mayor of New York. Adams has been a member of the Beşiktaş USA Association since 2015. Described as a Turkish friend by President Ferruh Zor, Adams has made numerous tourist trips to Turkey and participated in Turkish events. Bu meme abi. Mekke Medine bizim imzalar atıldı nasıl? Pentagon Suudi'yi 9'a bölüyor. Biz masada mıyız? Bizim olmadığımız masa yok. Both Mecca and Medina is ours. The signatures have been given. This guy goes, how? He responds, Pentagon is dividing Saudi Arabia into 9 parts. This guy says, are we at the table? He says, there is no table we are not at. Will the Turkish government face consequences from this from America? No, what? No, absolutely not. What are you talking about? Guys, the Turkish government is completely captured by a singular force and his friends. This man's name is Recep Tayyip Erdogan. And his transparent illegal actions are something that the American government uses to their advantage. This is a very normal part of American statecraft, okay? You allow a tin pot dictator to basically do a ton of corruption all around the world, and then you use that corruption as leverage whenever you want them to actually move in a certain way. If you recall, Recep Tayyip Erdogan has done a lot of weird stuff in terms of foreign policy, like when he was like, I will never vote for Sweden and Finland to join NATO, okay? To which the American government literally was like, oh yeah, let's look into your financial transactions real quick. As soon as the Manhattan DA's office or whatever opens up an investigation into Recep Tayyip Erdogan's like illegal, illicit financial activities, boom, he's like, all right, never mind. Actually, I decided that I would like to vote for Finland and Sweden to join NATO. I was just kidding. This is how it works for the most part. Let's not get started with his kids. Exactly. Every aspect of his administration is corrupt to the goddamn gills, and he uses his children. Like, Trump is a very Erdogan-style figure, very Vladimir Putin-style figure in many respects. And this is something that I noticed and talked about quite a bit early on. Like, a lot of the stuff that Donald Trump does, like, many, like Erdogan and whatnot, have done as well for many, many years. Anyway, back to Mayor Eric Adams.
And we have ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer joining us now. Action, seeing the way this indictment has been handed up and the charges that prosecutors are listing here.
Yeah, Diane, so I am still combing through these some 57-page indictment with 5 counts. I'm somewhat shocked when I start reading the first pages and I see that this investigation spans back to, I believe, 2014, back when Eric Adams was a Brooklyn Borough president, then giving us some updates from 2018, and then following into the 2021 election. This seems, as Aaron was alluding to, an investigation and activity that allegedly spans back about a decade now. And so to look and see how he's being charged, what he's being charged with, and just the volume of information. Again, I'm still working through about 57 pages. This is somewhat shocking to me, and I'm interested to really get into the details of it.
And Brian, we haven't heard.
He said it is too soon. He's done so much. It's hard to read all of the things that he has done. So, excuse me, I need some more time.
Heard yet from the mayor since the indictment was unsealed.
I gotta
But
pee.
he has talked in general, responding to the allegations that have come out of these investigations and essentially denied all allegations up until this point. So how do you expect his attorneys to mount a defense to what's in that indictment, or at least the part of it I've allowed you to read so far? I know you guys are going through this while we're literally on the air. But how do you think he's going to defend against this?
Difficult. In my quick scan of the indictment, I'm seeing that there are photos of the lavish lifestyle that allegedly the Turkish government gave to Eric Adams. I'm also seeing some correspondence that look like text messages between individuals, and we know that a number of cell phones, a number of electronics were taken. So correspondence and communications between people are going to be at the heart of a case like this. The only thing I can think about arguing in a case that has conspiracy to commit fraud, wire fraud, solicitation of contribution by a foreign agent, and bribery is lack of knowledge. That Mayor Adams was doing his job, wasn't aware of where the money was coming from or where it was going to or for the purpose of it, that he thought this was all above board. But as I read these allegations, as I look at what they're investigating, I think that would be very difficult.
And we're looking there at live images of Gracie Mansion in New York City. We are expecting to hear from the mayor, hear his response to this indictment, and now knowing that the city is aware of the charges that federal prosecutors are filing against him.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Kara Phillips. We are coming on the air.
Hey, Mr. Freakoffs. So I need someone to understand. I need you all to understand something here, okay? First of all, not knowing that what you did was illegal is not a adequate defense. That's number one. But number two, it's also especially not a defense for Eric Adams, who definitely knew what he was doing was illegal. Because as you saw, some of the parts of the indictment that we uncovered, the indictment that is now unsealed that we read through, he very much knew what he was doing was illegal. Like, he knew. He knew what he was doing was illegal, and he was trying to do his very best to hide it, but like not really trying that hard. Let's be real. The ultimate Eric Adams thing is that the feds have this message. Eric Adams, the defendant, continued to conceal the benefits he received from foreign nationals seeking to gain influence over him. Adams did not report any of the 2019 gifts he received from the airline manager or the promoter on his annual disclosure form. In addition, in March 2019, while exchanging text messages to plan another possible trip to Turkey in which the airline manager would arrange travel for Adams, the Adams staffer texted Adams to be on the safe side. Please delete all messages you send me. Adams responded, always do, which is also funny because, like, obviously you can recover deleted messages. So how is a cop so bad at hiding this stuff? Guys, what are you talking about? It is precisely because he is a cop that he didn't think of the law. Cops are the people that know the law the least. That literally is one of the most prominent reasons as to why he was so transparent with his obvious schemes, because cops are technically above the law, and they do it all the time, and they demonstrate their lack of knowledge or interest in learning the law regularly. That is the whole reason why he probably was like, yeah, whatever, I'm a cop. I've been in law all day, every day since the beginning. Anyway, this was a fun moment here as well. Eric Adams claims he changed his cell phone password to prevent his staff from deleting any messages or information. Unfortunately, he told investigators he immediately forgot his new password and so wouldn't be able to assist them in opening his phone. Okay. He also got bribery for Armenian denial. On April 21st, 2022, the Turkish official messaged the Adams staffer noting that Armenian Remembrance Day was approaching and repeatedly asked the Adams staffer for assurances that Adams would not make any statement about the Armenian. The Adams staffer confirmed that Adams would not make a statement about the Armenian. Adams did not make such a statement. That's like, I think that's one of the saddest aspects of this kind of back and forth from the Turkish side is that they like the things like their demands are so silly. Like, it's like, please don't mention the Armenian. We'll give you $80,000 worth of free trips. It's like really, dude? That's the big thing that you got out of this? Like, it just makes me feel kind of sad. Okay? Israel's out there openly being like, give us $7 trillion right now. Okay? And like, Turks are just like, please don't recognize the Armenian. Israel's like, we are doing it. You need to give us more weapons to continue doing that. Okay? And on the Turkish side, it's like, please don't mention the Armenian. It would be really sad. It would be really bad for us if you mentioned it. Oh, God. The government alleges that Eric Adams placed a Turkish Airlines official, Cenk Öcal, on his transition team in exchange for free upgrades on Turkish Airlines. In early December 2021, Adams announced that the members of his transition committees, which were established to advise the mayor-elect and his team on policies and appointments before he took office. Initially, there were no members of the Turkish community on any of the committees. On December 8th, 2021, the Adams staffer sent the airline manager a link to a list of Adams's transition committees and asked the airline manager, have you looked at the list? The airline manager responded, it would suit me well to be the lead or senior advisor. 2 days later, the airline manager sent a message reiterating, lead please, smiley face. Otherwise, seat number 52 is empty on the way back, meaning that if the airline manager was not given a position on the transition committee, it would affect Adams' travel benefits from the Turkish airline. Trump is delivering remarks in New York, by the way. I suspect to gloat about how much the Democrats are doing the exact same that Trump and his family members have done nonstop and have gotten away with. Eric Adams and Cenk Öcal here prominently displayed at a Turkish Airlines party, by the way. This wouldn't be the first concerted effort at Armenian denial in New York City. Israel's public image campaign is pretty shoddy, but nothing compares to Turkey hiring a multiracial pogo stick flash mob and skywriters to deny the Armenian in New York City. Russia plus Armenia. Wait, okay, it's not. Feared Buck thought Lolo's Zin tweet was real, but deleted it already. Yeah, I should have never clicked on it. I should have let him cook. Hasan, please stop talking. You're so loud and noisy. Shush, stop talking, Hasan. You're annoying. Okay. It looks like Adams' war on rats should have been waged closer to home. The feds clearly had access to the panic cleanup attempts by Adams and his crew after the investigation began. While the straw donor scheme outlined in the indictments is meatier, Adams seemed easily bribed by luxury gifts and accommodations provided by Turkish Airlines. Full disclosure, I can't myself really legally go to Turkey, but that's neither here nor there. Yes, Brace is not allowed to go to Turkey for obvious reasons, such as his time spent in Syria. He is considered a terrorist in Turkey. Brace is Hamas? No, if he was Hamas, he'd be able to go to Turkey. What do you mean? He was an ISIS fighter? No, dude, what? You think I'm friends with someone who fought for ISIS and have welcomed him into my home? Are you insane? Like, I think you meant he fought ISIS, like against. Sorry, I did debate some people in chat. I have also brought forward Hezbollah's favorite podcaster, Felix Biederman, multiple times into my home as well. Brace with Baghdadi's vision. Eric Adams seems to have been wheeling and dealing with the Turks from what is likely Osteria Labaya, the fancy restaurant run by a pair of convicted money launderers. He goes to Labaya practically every other day. The self-proclaimed vegan almost always gets the branzino. That's another funny part about Eric Adams that was like immediately. Eric Adams is like that one friend who lies for no fucking apparent reason. By the way, if you recall, if you've been in here for a while, okay, you already know this, but like Eric Adams would regularly lie about that you don't have to lie about, including, but not limited to, being a vegan. Okay? Like, it's like tiny things that play no role in his campaign whatsoever. And yet, he did it anyway. Eric Adams sought donations of the Turkish government and government-affiliated businessmen, which they gave through straw donors and through which the Adams campaign got $10 million in matching funds via New York City's matching funds program. This is, as far as I know, separate from the previous Eric Adams straw donor scandal involving his old NYPD buddies, and in a minor role, the girlfriend of a displaced pollster who popularized Abolish ICE before taking a job with Sam Bankman-Fried. Who is he talking about, I wonder? New York political journalist, it is time. You need to confirm the longstanding rumors that Eric Adams is in a polyamorous relationship. DM now. So this is why I said it's like a known secret in New York City journalism that Eric Adams has been in poly relationships. But no one has ever, I think they just think it's too like personal and irrelevant, I guess, to like really cover. Because he's boring. Eric Adams is not boring at all. Oh, that was another fun Eric Adams moment. Remember his supposed cop friend who died, whose picture he kept in his wallet, but it was actually a stock photo that he had his staff manually age? Yeah, that was fun. I'm telling you, this is why I say he's like such a funny character, because he like lies about irrelevant to lie about at all. Page 15. Yeah, I already covered this. I already covered this part. It was really funny when even Eric Adams, the staffer, was like, I don't know if he would accept these illegal donations so openly. And then Eric Adams was like, no, I will. Please give me the money now.
Now, with more political scandal erupting in New York City, federal authorities in Southern District of New York coming before the cameras now to reveal the charges. Let's get straight to the presser.
Conspiracy in which he solicited and knowingly accepted illegal campaign contributions from foreign donors and corporations. As we allege, Mayor Adams took these contributions even though he knew they were illegal. And even though he knew these contributions were attempts by a Turkish government official and Turkish businessmen to buy influence with him. We also allege that the mayor sought and accepted well over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits from some of the same foreign actors who arranged many of the illegal campaign contributions. These benefits included free international business class flights and opulent hotel rooms in foreign cities. The mayor had a duty to disclose these gifts on his annual public disclosure forms so that the public could see who was giving him what. But as we allege, year after year after year, he kept the public in the dark. He told the public he received no gifts, even though he was secretly being showered with them. We allege that Adams accepted these benefits knowing that they were given to him because of his position. And in exchange for some of those improper benefits, he intervened in the New York City Fire Department's inspection process for a building owned and operated by the Turkish government, allowing it to open even though it had not passed the fire inspection. The corruption alleged in the...
It is kind of wild that like you can oversee the 7th largest standing military on the planet as the mayor of New York City, like the awesome amount of power you have, and you literally are letting it slip from your hands because you wanted to get business class upgrades, dude. Like, how? It's so cheap. It's so much cheaper than you think. It's still better. It's far better than like what British government officials sell their souls for. I recall there was an active investigation into like how British Parliament operates and how little the bribes were. Like they were getting like $1,000 of the bribes. Okay, like it is crazy. At least he's got like 80 grand in the pocket, but it's still, bro. I make 40K a year and can afford business class. I mean, I don't know where you're flying business class, but you know. The stuff that he got is like 12 grand upgrades, you know, 12 grand a ticket type.
Indictment is, as I said, long running. As we allege in the indictment, Adams's solicitation of illegal campaign contributions began in 2018. After he started raising funds for his 2021 mayoral campaign, he agreed to take contributions offered by multiple Turkish businessmen.
Asking the mayor of New York to make the FDNY Forza building open despite failing fire code is so comically like, bro, hold it so hard. First of all, I'll have you know, the fire department of New York, it also has a separate investigation into their grifting after they found out that like all the fire chiefs were driving around in Lambo trucks. And so like they also have their own separate investigation too. Every aspect. Yeah, the chief was driving like a Lamborghini. People are like, what the? Why do you have a Lambo? What do you mean? What is going on? One had a Rolls Royce. Here, let's do the... there is a bunch of different... there's a bunch of different investigations that are actively happening right now in New York. Former New York City fire chief arrested in corruption scandal. This is from September 16th. This was like literally 10 days ago. 2 former New York City Fire Department chiefs were in custody Monday on charges that they solicited tens of thousands of dollars in bribes before ensuring the department's fire safety division gave preferential treatment to some individuals and companies. Anthony Saccavino and Brian Cardasco were arrested on bribery, corruption, and false statement charges alleging they solicited and accepted bribe payments from at least 2021 through 2023, authorities said. The arrest came as multiple ongoing federal investigations swirl around Mayor Adams and his top deputies, including one inquiry that appears at least partially focused on whether the administration sped up fire safety inspections of the Turkish consulate in exchange for illegal contributions. I think one of the funniest parts about the fire safety stuff is that, like, you also, like, if you fail fire safety, like, I know that process is slow and maybe sometimes deliberately slow, so they can get this kind of, special treatment or whatever. And get money on the side to speed up this like process. But what's really funny about it overall is that, like, you're cooked literally and figuratively if you don't pass this inspection and then you accidentally have like electrical wiring that catches on fire and then you're hurting yourself. Like, come on, speed up this. Like, who gives a fuck about fire safety is such a funny thing. Because not if you have insurance. What do you mean not if you have insurance? What happens when you're in the building when it catches on fire? I feel like if you have an embassy building, you probably want it to be up to code, you know? Insurance covers that, bro. Yeah, you just... Oh, yeah, this was funny. Here, this is the guy. Yeah, here it is. Hello, FBI. You might want to look into why this fire chief was driving a Lambo around Chelsea this last week. Hello, FBI. You might want to look into why this fire chief was driving in a Rolls Royce around the Hamptons last summer. Man, they just don't want kings to flex, dude. They need to make sure they can get to the fires quickly. Yeah, that's why they have the Lambo. That's what the fire chief does. Anyway.
Several of whom he met in Turkey. Adams knew that these wealthy individuals could not legally donate in a U.S. election. Federal law clearly prohibits foreign donations. That's how we protect our elections from foreign influence. Yet Adams directed his staff to pursue this illegal money to support his campaign for mayor. And as we allege, Adams continued to pursue foreign money in secret well into 2021. And it didn't stop with his first campaign for mayor. As we allege, in 2023, the mayor rekindled these corrupt relationships, seeking more illegal campaign contributions from some of the same foreign sources to support.
Yeah, one of the funniest aspects of this, once again, and I will forever repeat this whenever we talk about like foreign donations or whatever, is the fact that Israel gets to do this literally above board without even getting hit by FARA. Okay? Like what the Turkish government did in this circumstance, utilizing a Turkish American citizen to engage in like straw donations or whatever, is something that Israel can directly do by way of AIPAC. Just to understand how stupid this is, okay? FARA is Foreign Agent Registration Act. Now, it's fully allowed for Israel, which makes it really funny for, obviously, for Eric Adams in New York. But not only that, finally, I will not hear this cry about Israel again. Speaking of Israel, why can they do this legally? Yeah, I mean, why? Why can they do this legally? It's weird. How did they get the right legislation that makes it an act to ever protest against Israel in like 32 states with in direct to the First Amendment, by the way? You can't even do that for like North Dakota. Once again, I will repeat this. If someone was like, oh, it is now illegal to protest against North Dakota as a state in the United States of America, everyone would be like, shut the f up. What are you talking about? What the f do you mean you can't do that for North Dakota? That would never, like no one would ever allow that.